We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity Top Gun Sales Boot Camp. And man, we've got a lot to go over today. Holy cow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Nora, what you got?
I had 31% for last week.
Okay. Thoughts or questions?
Any thoughts on how to get that higher?
It's changing how we think. So there's thought processes that you have. There's thought processes that you have that went ahead and caused that to happen. So it's changing how you think, which is probably the hardest thing for a human being to do.
Okay.
Kenny, what you got?
Um, is it possible to prevent, so we have to prevent the bad stuff from one team member to transfer over to another and develop?
Holy cow. I'm telling you, right? It's insane. Like, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. So I had a guy, goofball. His name was Mike Bacher. And he's a devout Christian, actually came to our house church. We had a house church. I don't know if you guys knew that for a little while. And this guy, I don't know, he got a bug up his butt and he just got like, I don't know what happened to the guy. And it's like, he had this attitude. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. You just got to be kidding. Obviously, you can tell based on quick response and how much trauma that's caused me. So I mean, he's going to the church. He's coming to our house like every week. Family's connected. Like doing everything I can for the guy. And all of a sudden there's this poison that just starts going throughout the whole company. and I'm like, and I see the whole thing happening, and I'm like, so it's interesting. So he emailed me, he emailed me something about how I was so this and this and this, it's my issue, and blah 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 blah. Just and I'm like, I wonder what I should do. So what I did is I exposed it. I exposed the whole thing. And I sent an email to all the team with his email and my response to it. And I said, this is what Mike said. This is what Mike said. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on it? It's like a bull or a bear running at you like full speed and you drop that bad boy, boom. But anyways, it didn't really drop it. Then he went from a bear to a mole, went underneath, underneath. And it's like, so I asked Judy, and I, one of my executive assistants, I said, Judy, like, why is it that people that have bad attitudes? So it's this moldy strawberries principle, but it's more than that. And so you get one moldy strawberry spreads to everybody, and then you go ahead and so I said to her, I said, why is it that people with bad attitudes attract other people with bad attitudes, and they make them worse? And she's like, oh, it's just like cocaine users. And I'm like, I don't understand what that means. And she's like, cocaine users hang out with other cocaine users um, because they want to normalize their behavior. Like it's just normal to get high, get stoned. That's just normal. I'm like, dang, that's right. So that's the cocaine user principle. And so um, that was over 20 years ago. And I'm telling you, the havoc that guy, man. I mean, I'm still 20 years speechless. I'm like, how could Mike be so stupid? But it's just Mike. It's just Mike, and malicious and evil and just subversive and just. It's like, how do you do that? And so, I mean, the moldy strawberry, what do you do to fix moldy straw? That situation, you get the strawberry out, or I guess you could cut off the mold. Um, I mean, yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on that with AI now to try to figure out how to get into it. So I don't have a good answer, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely, it'll destroy a company. Now, typically this is what you have. This is interesting. This is fascinating. Um, so typically, if you have high turnover in a company, it's for one of two reasons. One is you don't have an amiable, because amiables are like healing to all the other three personalities. So they can somehow understand or they feel like they understand to the analytic. They can somehow handle the driver, and they can somehow handle the expressive, and they bring it together. So somehow, if you have high turnover, you're going to have typically it's one of two reasons. One is you don't have an amiable, or worse, you have one, but they're bitter. Not necessarily to the company or anybody in the company. If you have a bitter amiable, everybody will start dropping like flies. And I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this. So they go ahead and they're poison. They're poison. So they go ahead and one person leaves and another person leaves and everybody leaves except for the amiable who's poison. Now, so that might have been a little bit more than you asked for, Kenny, but yeah, it's cool that you saw it. How do you go ahead and how do you fix it? I'm not entirely sure.
So when removing the strawberry, I guess I kind of see that as eliminating the team member, but how do you chop off the moldy part?
Well, I mean, it's going in and finding out, like we had talked in the pre-show, always come early, always stay late. We'd talked in the pre-show, like I'm seeing stuff I've never seen in my life before. I really don't want to. It requires a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot more work than I've done, a lot more sacrifice, and a lot more risk. And I don't really want to do that. But so I see, Luke, with people around you, I see how they've been hurt at a heart level. I have not. Like, you haven't, you haven't been deeply hurt, deeply wounded. Other people have. So I get them. So with most people, it's like we've been hurt and we haven't healed from it. So theoretically, you can reverse. Like, why do some strawberries get moldy and others don't? I've never researched that. I could ask AI and say, hey, could we bring. So there's dark matter and dark energy in the universe. And it's the most fascinating thing. I did some research on that this weekend. And then I tried to go ahead and say, okay, how does that work with the mind? And well, that's an interesting question, like Mark. And so, and so I think it's dark matter. It could get them reversed, but dark matter pulls and dark energy pushes. So there's this tension of pulling and pushing. So I think the dark matter is analytic amiable, and the dark energy is expressive driver. And so theoretically, you could go in and you could reverse it. Like you could help the person realize, like my kids, number of them, not all of them, but a number of my children, man, they didn't leave the house on the best terms. And I said to them, I said, I hope you're right. I hope it's your dad's issue. I do. Because if it's your dad's issue, you're going to get out in the world and you know what? Your life is going to be fine because it's dad. It's dad's issue. And you know what? Those kids those kids' lives are so messed up, it's insane. And so, the ones that left on not good terms. I mean, one's turned around some, quite a bit, but the others, yeah. Well, a couple of them have turned around pretty good. But are they just a time bomb, ticking time bomb? So, it's almost like that's where Life GPS, like, it's easy to get mad at Mark. Just get mad at Mark. Like Kenny learned on San Antonio. It's Mark's fault for everything. It's just Mark's fault. Just blame him. It's easy. And so you can, figuratively throw me, you can yell at me, you can do whatever. But to do that to a mobile app, it's kind of weird. Like, what are you going to do? Throw your phone? You're going to get mad at a phone for telling you something? So, like, I don't know if it's true. It's true. If it's not, it's not. It's a phone, for crying out loud. It's taking your information and it's just taking your data. Like, it doesn't have any emotional attachment to you. It hasn't hurt you. It's just taking it. And so, the challenge with AI, though, is AI is, programmed by a bunch of amiable analytics. And so it's going to tell you what you want to hear to win. So we're going to have to override that. We're going to have to override that and somehow get the truth in there. And it can do it, but I don't know. Other questions, Kenny, or thoughts?
No.
1 to 10, how would you rate how well you're doing on your daily Life GPS numbers?
So if I have some, I enter them.
So even if you don't have any, I think you can go in and enter, 0. What you're also doing is you're not realizing that your servicing can be sales. As a business owner, you learn really quick, or you don't in business, you learn really quick how to go ahead and turn, servicing into a profit center, especially in construction. I mean, construction's brutal. It's not like accounting firm. Like accounting firm had highest retention rate. It's amazing. So here, all the way down here, you turn it into a profit center. So you can, like, if you're talking to a client, that's a sales call. So you're going to always, if you're working, you're going to always have points. If there's people, there's going to be points. Make sense?
Gotcha.
So, Luke, 1 to 10, how would you rate you're doing it?
I am entering my points every day, so or my numbers every day.
Sorry, I lost track. I think I lost track at about 8 or 10 words. So,
I don't know, is that a 10 on consistency, maybe 1 or a 2 on having numbers and a goal and knowing my numbers.
right now, the first thing is just the consistent. Can you go ahead and do the task of being consistent? Can you go ahead and enter in numbers? Can you enter in numbers like every day? So it's fascinating to me. Like in my sleep last night, I figured something out. Like the amiable does they're so slippery they don't even realize what they're doing. It's like wired into them. It's just their very nature. And so what you have to do with them, you can't call them out on it, because if you do, they're going to get picked at you for their own stuff. It's like, what? No, it's true. And so, and they're so good, nobody sees it except Mark does. Like Mark sees stuff. That's why everything's his fault because he sees it. So if he sees something, it must be his fault. It's just fascinating. Luke, what you got?
How do you know what to expect and how not to expect more of others than yourself?
So, Nora, you've worked around Luke for quite a while. And so do you see how he expects more of of other people than he does himself? Do you see that or not?
Not sure.
So that would be a no. Okay. Um, Kenny, do you see how Luke expects more out of others than himself?
Yes.
So, do you have suggestions for Luke?
No.
Do you know how much money that's costing Luke and you?
I do not.
A lot. A lot. So,
How's
go ahead.
how so? Why so? Explain.
So you're not, you don't see the truth. So you're enslaved. You're not, you're not able to grow. And so you're not able to grow. And so if you're not able to grow, so, people who can't see things in other people, why can't they see it in other people often?
They can't see it in themselves.
Yep. 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 And so, if are a lot of people talking to you about this, Luke?
Not really, no.
Why?
Not anybody.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
They don't care about me.
No, I mean everybody cares about, people, so we won't go into the care model, but they care as best as they can. They're like you. So you guys are like crabs in a bucket. And so it becomes like a contest on who can manipulate who the best, who can move people the best,
Hmm.
you know? And so um so the mirror, you know, so Kenny can see it in you. So that's good. That's good. And so the mirror effect is Kenny goes ahead and sees it in you. Then he immediately, anytime we see something in other people, we go ahead and, we need to look at a mirror ourselves. Like I wrote a song this weekend on the mirror. And so people don't do it as my brother. He went to seminary. That's 6 years of college to become a pastor. You'd think that a pastor would be trained in 6 years of college on how to have the mirror. He's my younger brother. He's a pastor for 10 years. And I said, hey, Ken, I mean, when you go ahead and say something to somebody else, like I don't even know when I saw that, when I started doing this. I don't know, in my 20s, teenagers, I don't know. I don't remember. It's just been a part of my whole life. Like, Mark, if you see something in somebody else, there's some amount of it in you. You couldn't see it if it wasn't true. So it's just a reflex. Like, I see somebody's stupid, I see I'm stupid. If somebody's arrogant, I'm arrogant. If somebody's manipulative, I'm manipulative. I can just like, I don't know. It's just, isn't it common sense? Doesn't everybody know this? I don't remember ever being taught. It's just, I don't know. It's just what it is. And he was probably in his 40s, 50s, probably, yeah, 40s. And I said to him, I said, Kim, when you see something in somebody else, you do, like, you check a mirror, right? You check yourself. He looked at me like, sorry, language, dumbass. And he's like, no. I'm like, really? Like jeepers. So the mirror is really, so now there's a song. Okay. So events. So you guys are going and doing a company event. So I'm going to be there, even though I'm not going to be there, and I'm going to expect more out of the event. I don't need to know the event. I just know when you get together, you do something different than you normally do. You can get more out of this event than you can going on a wilderness weekend. Now, or wilderness week or 2 weeks. You can get more out of this event than you can on a wilderness, event. But you don't want to see that because you want to do wilderness events. So you want to see how those are better. And so an event is an event is amazing, not because of the event. It's amazing because of me. When I go to an event, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing because I don't want to be there. I don't want to be at the event. Now, what we also know at an event is your people that are going to go there is they're going to go ahead and pick up things they shouldn't and don't pick up things they should. So it's going to be worse than if before they went to an event, because they're going to walk away, especially the expressive, because there's all these people and all this stuff. And so there's going to be dopamine hit. So the biggest challenge in an event is what? Bar none.
Knowing what to take and what to leave.
Hey, that's one of the things. It's follow through. So I've shared this in the past. I don't know if I've shared this in this form, but my wife and I go to a marriage seminar, and I walk away and I'm like, that was one great seminar. Our marriage is going to be so much better. Why? Because I heard that she talks too much, uses too many words. She's not tight with her communication. So I heard everything in the event that she needs to learn, and obviously she picked it up because it's right there in front of her. So my expectations go up for our marriage. She goes ahead and she says, Mark learned everything. Like he went ahead and he's too hard on me. He's too impatient. Expects too much from me. He pushes too hard. He's going to be a better husband. I heard everything that she should hear. She heard everything I should hear. And we're both going to go ahead and walk away. And that really helped. We're going to get back home, and then our marriage is going to be just as miserable. It's going to be worse because our expectations increased and we've been disappointed. It didn't work yet again. So you make the event. The event doesn't make you. You make the event. You want that change. You want it to change, then you change it. And the things that you don't see it for somebody else. Like Luke, you see for Kenny. Kenny see for you. What? Kenny can say, Luke, this is what I think you should have picked up. Luke can say, this is what, you should pick up. And then learn to apply the mirror. And so the events are amazing because it's a different way of thinking. Now, if you go ahead and set it up and say, it's going to change our entire company, everything that we're about, it's going to do that. It's going to do that, not because the event is going to do that. It's going to do that because you guys do the work, make the sacrifice, take the risk. So otherwise, you're dependent on the event for the dopamine hit. So that I could go through so many events that were life-changing, unbelievably life-changing. Mostly for me. I still struggle with how to go ahead and get other people to have a life-changing event. So if you're going because you're pumped up, excited, motivated, and inspired, well, you're going to struggle probably with follow-through. So when you just rip it off, you got to rip. That's just an interesting thing. So that's another piece. And then leadership, like I've shared this, but I don't know that you guys have I'm pretty sure I shared this. I don't know if you guys have, followed through with it. So my kids, when they were teenagers, I told them, I said, you guys make poor choices. And dad's in authority, he's in leadership. So there's a lot of people, especially in certain communities, that they have leadership issues. They have leadership issues. I'm a far better second person, a vice president, than I'm a president. I don't really like to be a leader. I'm related to President Eisenhower. And I heard, I don't know, a few months back that he was the reluctant leader. He didn't want to be the president of the United States on my mom's side. And so that makes sense. I don't want to lead, but somebody's got to do it. And so I'd say, you make poor choices, kids. You make poor choices. You make poor choices. And dad has to make a determination. If I'm too hard, that's not good. If I'm too soft, that's not good. But you guys started it with a bad decision. So the same thing is true with each of you, with me. If I'm a mentor, and the same thing is true with you, with whoever you're mentoring, with whoever you're leading. You don't need a title to lead. Somebody can have a title, they're not a leader. The title doesn't make the leader. So this is something else that I went ahead and this is something else that I did this weekend. I made this here. And it's from the 5 steps, although it's said 4, so I have to do some work. This is on decision making. And so, so the magic mirror lagoon, recognize hidden traps, identity bias like self-serving and status quo that prevent honest self-reflection. The question of self-awareness, what should I be doing that I'm not doing, not motivated to do? Step 1, define the want. This is from Tom Cook. This is the principle. I'm like, the model's not working. It's not working. It's just not. So maybe if I turn it into like an adventure, and I don't know, the kids came over for Mother's Day yesterday, the grandkids came over, and they took these models, out and into the property. And so here's another one. And so I'm trying to figure out how to help people. Understand your decision-making model could be a lot better than what it is. It could be a lot better than what it is. But I think people think that they have a good decision-making model. Mark, do you think you have a good decision-making model? Evidently not. Not saying, look at the people around me. Not saying that. So, it's interesting, right? Like when you look at the weekend, was it for consumption? Like an opium den? Was it like a consumption? Like I'm just gonna, I'm entitled to take the weekend off. Not 6 days work and a day rest. It's not that. No, it's, it's 5 days of work and maybe 5 half days of work. And then, and then this. And so, again, it's not a judgment. It's an observation. It's a question like, are you consumptive or are you producing? Are you producing more than you're consuming, or are you consuming more than you're producing? So fascinating. Anybody else have anything else? I've always wanted to take the Action Vision and turn it into a mobile app. I've always wanted to take Action Vision and turn it into adventure game. I think this weekend I might have cracked the code in doing it. And it actually came from frustration. There was a tipping point. So we had somebody coming over and they were working, and they're not the most efficient person in the world. And I've been doing it for 3 years and they don't pay attention. And the person leading them, I don't know how attentive they are to it. So I'm just out of pure frustration. I'm like, I talked to the worker, I talked to the leader, and nobody's paying attention. Woe is Mark. Mark's a victim. Mark has to do everything. I'm like, well, Mark, why don't you pour that into doing something? I'm like, I wonder if I could do this. And I did this. And then my grandkids went ahead and took this and ran around the property doing it. It's like, dang, I just take the frustration and turn it into something productive, not victim, not woe is me. Let's do something about it. Anybody else have anything else? Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. So if you have any questions on anything we covered today, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300, outside the US 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.